Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram today. Well, in this Cricket Happening Show, well, you might see that probably my enthusiasm might be lacking. It's quite possible because I'm a bit under the weather, but as I told you, cricket is very, very dear to me. I come back to it whether I'm sick or not, I'm always there. Well, so first what you're going to look at is one of the matches. One key match was going on today, which actually finished between Kolkata Knight Riders and Pune Warriors. As you know, Pune Warriors, they were already out. They are the ones who are languishing at the bottom, and this was a match which was played at that very, very ground that everyone have been praising so far. They are the JSCA International Stadium complex here in Ranchi, which has a good seating capacity, and well, everyone loves this ground because it's a pretty huge stadium. Well, so it was Kolkata Knight Riders who were the ones who were under pressure, because it was a must-win game for them, and this must-win game for them was almost coming on to a win when 23 runs were needed of just 14 deliveries, and that time something happened which actually pushed the Kolkata Knight Riders out of the competition. And what a big turning point it was in the game. But yes, it was all something, an unusual dismissal happening in the Indian Premier League for the first time. As you know, ICC had brought out the new rule that, they had said that no obstruction, the bowler should not be obstructed. But what happened today had a great bearing on this game, as Kolkata Knight Riders actually chasing Pune Warriors 170 for 4 were looking on course when Yousuf Pathan was not been in any great form in this IPL 2013 season, but Gautam Gambhir, the captain, has been persisting with him. And what was good was Yousuf Pathan went on to make 72 runs of 44 balls, 8 fours and 2 sixes, and it was a time when 23 runs were needed of only 14 balls. Probably one would have Kolkata Knight Riders, but what it did is actually pushed Kolkata Knight Riders out of the competition, because Pune Warriors won this match by 7 runs with this unusual dismissal that happened in the annals of cricket. And this was what happened. Actually, Yousuf Pathan played the ball. It was a Yorker length delivery, and Yousuf Pathan was going on to the non-strikers, and Parnell was coming in. Parnell was there, so Parnell actually put his hand because the ball was going, and what Yousuf Pathan did, probably due to instinct, he actually kicked the ball like a footballer, and well, the appeal went up and he was given out obstructing the field. And that was a very, very big turning point in the game, because chasing 170 runs, 163 to get for Kolkata Knight Riders. As I said, if they had won this match, they could have, but now what it has done is it has pushed them out of the playoffs, and it leaves Sunrisers Hyderabad and Kings XI Punjab now vying for honours there for the 4th position. But just talking about this dismissal, this was a very unusual dismissal, and that was the time when Kolkata Knight Riders were really struggling at 29 for 3, and Yousuf Pathan was not hit, after looking at the information that I got, that he has not hit a single 50 in the last 3 Indian Premier Leagues. And so that is something. So he probably broke the drought right now, and what a knock it was, and it would have been a match-winning knock. And I'm sure Yousuf Pathan, if he had actually gone on to win the match, would have won the man of the match. In fact, the man of the match went to Manish Pandey for his knock. But Yousuf Pathan, let me just tell you, what happened was not good, and in fact it put Kolkata Knight Riders out of the competition. They are no longer in contention now. And just talking about the game here, because I wanted to really cover, because this was a partnership which was really, really, it was a partnership which started at 4.4 overs when Gambhir was out, with the Kolkata Knight Riders scored at 29 for 3, and the score reached 127. So 98 runs were added in a span of 11 overs, which was pretty good going. And Yousuf Pathan was looking good. He was slamming the ball. He was also playing sensibly. He was taking the singles. He really likes to work the ball on the onside. He was doing that too. He was hitting some good sixes. Ryan Doshat was an able ally for him. He was doing his job. And this partnership for the 4th wicket was something very important. And Kolkata Knight Riders, with this partnership going, it was probably, one was thinking that Kolkata Knight Riders is definitely going to win this match. But it was not to be. This particular dismissal proved to be the turning point in the game, not only for not only in this particular game, but for them in this Indian Premier League 2013, dashing their hopes of getting on to the playoffs. So one feels for Kolkata Knight Riders, but it was an unusual dismissal that brought an end to this Kolkata Knight Riders contention in this competition. Now, just looking after the game here, Pune Warriors were the ones who actually batted first. All the batsmen contributed, so that was something very good. Robin Uthappa made 21 balls, 1 4 and 2 sixes. Aaron Finch, the captain, made 48 of 32 balls with 2 4s and 3 sixes. Manish Pandey, as I said, was the man of the match, so he played a very good knock. 66 not out. Sorry, in fact, he was run out for 66 of 47 balls with 8 4s and 1 6. And Yuvraj Singh also contributed in no mean measure, because he made 30 runs of just 20 deliveries, no boundaries, but 3 sixes. And that was the score, 170 for 4 of the 20 overs, with all the batsmen contributing from the Pune Warriors. The bowling, Balaji 4 overs, 1 for 41. Senanaike 1 for 22 was the most economical. Sunil Narine also was doing his job. He was bowling very well. 4 overs, no maiden, none for 26. There was a time when Gautam Gambhir, the captain, had actually piled on the pressure on Yuvraj Singh, was not in form. He had a slip and a gully in place for him, and Sunil Narine continued to bowl 5 dot balls, and in one particular ball, probably the ball had ricocheted off the wicketkeeper's hand and gone on to the slip. It would have been taken, but unfortunately there was no second slip. And Sunil Narine, but he still bowled well. 4 overs, no maiden, none for 26. Callis 4 overs, 148. Bhatia 3 overs, none for 26. And Ryan Doshat bowled 1 over, no maiden, none for 7. Let's look at the Kolkata Knight Riders. Pretty interesting, because the Kolkata Knight Riders started off with their openers chasing 170 to win. And the first wicket to go was Manvinder Bisla. Now, Parnell was the one who actually gave them the double breakthrough. First, he got the wicket of Manvinder Bisla with a very good delivery, which actually jagged in, and Bisla was LBW or Parnell for 1. Jack Scalise got a beauty of delivery, a beautiful swinging Yorker under the bat of Callis, and Parnell had taken the wicket, and that was 1 wicket. So Callis was bowled Parnell for 1, 25 for 2, and when Gautam Gambhir, the captain, departed, caught Yuvraj Singh trying to pull a ball, but skied the ball. Yuvraj Singh took the bowling of Ishwar Pandey for 12 of 17 balls with 1 4. The score read 29 for 3, and that is the time this partnership started between Yousuf Pathan and Ryan Doshat, which was blossoming like anything, and it was pretty sure. It was so close, as I said. 23 runs of 14 balls. Yousuf Pathan was looking good, as I said. He was timing the ball sweetly. He was able to play the stand-up delivery shot that he normally plays. Ryan Doshat was also doing a good job, and things were going pretty good. In fact, the spinners were not really the spinners were not given any room for really, coming in and stopping the run flow. Murtazaf's 4 overs went for 34 runs, and it was all happening. In fact, Pathan had actually hit Parnell for a 6-2. Everything was going well, and that is the time this Yousuf Pathan, an unusual dismissal in cricket happened, that is obstructing the field. As I said, ICC had brought out this new rule saying that anyone who obstructs the field, but in this case it wasn't obstructing the field, because what Yousuf Pathan did is he kicked the ball while running, which was not good, because if Parnell could have tried to pick it up, and that was not good on Yousuf Pathan's case, I thought. But Parnell also put his hand. I wouldn't know whether that was the right decision, but Yousuf Pathan had to go. He was not happy with the decision, but he had to go. And as I said, that particular dismissal, when Yousuf Pathan was run out for 72 of just 44 balls, 8 4s and 2 6s, and what a knock it was. It was a very good knock. If Kolkata Knight Riders would have won this match, they would have kept themselves in contention for the playoffs along with Kings XI Punjab. But now what they have done is they have made the door open for Kings XI Punjab and Sunrisers Hyderabad to vie for the honours now. And Yousuf Pathan, let me tell you, it's pretty sad that this was an end to one of his best innings here, because, as I said, in 3 Indian Premier League matches he has been struggling to get a 50, and here he is making 72 of 44 balls with 8 4s and 2 6s, but obstructing the field. An unusual dismissal departs the scene for 72. That was the time, 127. In fact, when Yousuf Pathan departed, it was 148, because the partnership between Yousuf Pathan and Ten Doshat was broken when Ten Doshat was actually run out for 42 of 30 balls, 4 fours and 1 6. And after that it became, and Manoj Tiwari, I thought he played a very reckless shot, because under the circumstances he could have just stayed there and given Yousuf Pathan some support. But what he did is he went for a heave-ho shot. In fact, he tried to pull a ball, kite the ball, Pandey taking the catch at the fence, and he was gone for attack. So I thought that was a reckless shot from Manoj Tiwari. If probably Manoj Tiwari could have been there, things would have been different. But well, ifs are ifs and buts are buts. Debabrata Das couldn't force the pace at all. He had to remain not out on 8 of 6 balls. And Bhatia was also run out for 10, and Senanaik was not out for 2. In the end, it became too tough for them to get runs, and they finished at 163 for 7 with, as I said, Pune Warriors, even though languishing at the bottom of the table, they derailed Kolkata Knight Riders' hopes in this competition by winning it by 7 runs. The bowling figures, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, initially the bowling of Pune Warriors was something which was much to be desired, because the bowling was all over the place. Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Wayne Parnell were bowling lots of wides, a lot of extras had been conceded. But Bhuvneshwar Kumar, towards the end, I thought he bowled excellently, and he really made sure that he was bowling just wide outside the off stump, so the umpire can't even call it a wide. It was some splendid bowling from Bhuvneshwar Kumar. 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 22. Wayne Parnell also bowled well and took the wickets. 2 for 34 for him. Ishwar Pandey, 2 overs, 1 for 17. Matthews, 3 overs, none for 25. He bowled the final over in a very nice manner. It was Murtaza, 4 overs, none for 34. Yuvraj Singh, a solitary over for 11 runs. Luke Wright went for 11 of his 1, and 1 over for 5 runs for R.V. Gomez. And Manish Pandey of the Pune Warriors took the Man of the Match award. What a way for Kolkata Knight Riders to lose this match. As I said, this match was like a pendulum swinging either way. First it went Pune Warriors' way, then it went Kolkata Knight Riders' way when the partnership was blossoming. Then again it went Pune Warriors' way when the wickets started falling. And finally, when Yousuf Pathan, in an unusual dismissal, obstructing the field, was given out, that was the time the pendulum once again swung for the Pune Warriors, and Pune Warriors took immense advantage out of it and saw to it that they clinched the deal. That's what they precisely did. So congratulations to Pune Warriors for doing that to Kolkata Knight Riders, but my commiserations to Kolkata Knight Riders team for losing out on this one in a very unusual fashion. Well, so now I will take you down to the match which is going on. That is the match which is the 20 overs of Mumbai Indians is over. Mumbai Indians were the ones who actually lost the toss. Rajasthan Royals, as you know, they are good chasers, and this is being played at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. And Rajasthan Royals today put the Mumbai Indians into bat. Mumbai Indians didn't have Sachin Tendulkar the other day. He was hit on the elbow, as you know. So Sachin Tendulkar stayed away from here, and Glenn Maxwell was included. And Glenn Maxwell definitely made it count there by contributing a very quick 23 of 17 balls. He hit 2 sixes of the bowling of Chawan. He also hit 1 6 of the bowling of Faulkner, which was stomped straight down the ground. And Maxwell made 23 of 17 balls with 3 sixes. Aditya Thare, who came in the place today, who opened the innings with Maxwell, was pretty impressive. He also played a very breezy knock of 59 of 37 deliveries. It's his first game in the IPL 2013 with 8 fours and 1 6, so he played excellently. Dinesh Karthik contributed 21 of as many balls with 3 fours, and then Rohit Sharma and Pollard making 14 and 17 respectively. But other than that, the Rajasthan Royals bowlers really came into their own, and Kevon Cooper was pretty impressive. When you see the bowling figures, I would say the bowlers were the ones who actually had a hand in restricting this Mumbai Indians innings to 166 for 8 of 20 overs. This is the time right now. It's the break time there, where Mumbai Indians have just ended the innings at 166 for 8, with Ambati Ride out for 7, 15 Harbhajan Singh not out, 15 of 7 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. And in the last over was pretty useful for Rajasthan Royals, as Faulkner in the final over took 2 wickets and gave away only 4 runs, so that was pretty good. So that kept the Mumbai Indians score to 166 for 8. One thought that probably when Kiran Pollard and Rohit Sharma were there, that was the time they could have really gone on to a total of in excess of 180. But as far as the bowling was concerned for Rajasthan Royals, Chawan 3 overs, none for 25. Faulkner was impressive, 2 for 32 for him. Kevon Cooper was absolutely on the mark, 4 overs, no 1 for 27. Tambe was expensive, 1 for 38. 1 over for 11 runs was Stuart Binney. and Shane Watson 4 overs 2 for 30. But I thought the Rajasthan Royals bowlers did well here to restrict Mumbai Indians to 166 for 8. Well, as far as Mumbai Indians and Rajasthan Royals are concerned, it is not something that they are going to really look into, because they have already made sure that they are already there in the playoffs. So it's not really going to matter for them. But what is going to matter is only some psychologically it will help them if they get the victory. But Rajasthan Royals, considering themselves, I know they have been very good chasers in the Indian Premier League 2013, so I am sure they are going to put their best foot forward. They'll go for their strokes probably. They have nothing to lose, and I think we should have a good game, because there could be lots of experiments done by Mumbai Indians too with their bowling. Rajasthan Royals also might try out a few things here, because as I said, this is a non-consequential, inconsequential match. And we might have some fun here at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. So as I said, right now, the 166 for 8 is what Mumbai Indians have finished with. I just see that the first 2 balls have been bowled in the Rajasthan Royals innings, and they are yet to score. But they are having their original openers, Rahul Dravid and Ajinkya Rahane, coming in, and both of them have not got a single run of the 2 balls that they have faced from Mitchell Johnson. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, I think we should have a good game. As I said, Rajasthan Royals will fancy themselves because they have been good chasers in the Indian Premier League 2013, but we don't know how everything is going to pan out. But I think we should have a great game of cricket here at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. So that's it from me. And one more thing before I leave, as we have all been talking about Indian Premier League matches, one is forgetting that one international match is about to begin. And that is what a clash that is going to be, because that is a return leg tour that New Zealand are coming to England now. New Zealand are in England, and New Zealand are taking on England in the first test match of their tour, and that is going to be played at the Mecca of English cricket, the Lord's Cricket Ground. So that the first test starts tomorrow, and I will be there with the first day's play report on this particular match. But everything would be brief probably, because the IPL is going on, so I will have to really do a potpourri where I will have to mix up things. Well, as far as that clash is concerned, as far as England and New Zealand is concerned, that is going to be something which is really looking forward to. Everyone are looking forward to, because New Zealand did a very good show, put up a very good show when England toured New Zealand. So England are in their own backyard, but I think it is going to be a good contest coming up tomorrow. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, on this note, your host Ram is moving away from the Cricket Happenings show for today, but promising you that I'll be back with the IPL updates, and also probably a brief summary on the England versus New Zealand first day's play of the first test match, which will be starting at the Lord's Cricket Ground. Thanks for your company, and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. Your host Ram signing off today. Thank you.